Namaste everyone. A very warm welcome to all of you in this live meditation session with me, Dhyan Se. We are meditating on 112 meditation techniques of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Everything that you experience is a sensation. The whole world of your experience is a world of sensations. These 5 senses plus 1,000 senses that you have in you. These 5 senses of seeing, hearing, touching, smelling and tasting, they are forming the experience of this physical world for you. But beyond these 5 senses, even thought that you have, all these 1,000 thoughts that you have in your daily life, these thoughts are also a sensation. All the words that you hear and say and use as a language, these are nothing but also sensations. The thoughts are the sensations, the emotions are also sensations, and beyond thoughts and emotions, the subtle movements in your energies, they are also sensations. The whole experience of your life is built with sensations. I would like you to contemplate and break down the entire experience even as I speak, as you hear, as you sit in this discourse, in this hearing. See that everything is a sensation. Whatever you are experiencing right now, from the outside physical world or in your inner world, from your physical senses to your thoughts to your emotions, everything is a sensation. This is the first thing to be established, to understand, to experience this meditation session. So everything is a sensation. Even your intelligence that is there, where you say this makes sense or this does not make sense, where you say I laugh at this or you don't laugh at something, everything is driven by sensations. If something touches you, if something touches your mind, your logic, your rational, you agree to it. If something touches your heart, somewhere deeper, you agree to it even more, you resonate to it even more. If something is touching even further deeper to your soul, you are in perfect alignment with it. But in all these, touching your mind, touching your heart, touching your soul, there is a sensation that is created in you. Without that sensation, you cannot move, you cannot operate in this world, because the experience is built on that sensation. Your entire intelligence is built on your sensation of what makes sense, what does not make sense. To business professionals coming out of Ivy League schools, they set up a business. For several months, they tried to run that business, but it did not work. So they ended up selling this business for very cheap to Muli. Muli bought this business and turned it around in a few months. It became a thriving business. It became a highly profitable business. These 2 Ivy League business professionals, they went to Muli, who was completely uneducated, coming from a village, and in a few months creating the same business into a thriving business. They wanted to know what his business sense was. How did he come to this sense that he turned around their business into a highly profitable, thriving empire? So they went up to him, they asked, what is your business sense? What is your secret? Muli said, I am uneducated. I don't even know maths. All I know is I buy something for $1, I sell it for $2. And that 1% profit that I make, I'm happy with that. For those who got the sense of this joke, And for those who did not get the sense of this joke, see that underlying experience of anything that you're experiencing is the sensation in you. If it is developed deeply, if it is developed in a sophisticated way, you experience the world in its vividity, in its colors, in its spectrum of 1,000 possibilities, of 1,000,000 possibilities. If it is, the sensation is still crude, is still not developed, you are evaluating the world, the experience that you're going through is in somewhat raw state, is in somewhat only a few dimensions. You only express, you only realize, you only feel and experience this world in only a few ways. Why this is important to understand that this whole experience that you're going through of life is essentially built in sensations, because this will take you deeper within yourself. Ask yourself, what is the source of these sensations? First thing, when you have established that all your experience is sensations, then ask yourself, go deeper. What is the source of these sensations? As you go deeper within you, you realize there is this world of sensations, and then there is this world of silence. To every sensation, this source of sensation is in silence. All the sensations that are there in you, from the physical 5 sensations to the 1,000 sensations of your inner world and your subtle energies, all these sensations have the source in silence. The deeper the silence in you, the more vivid, more sophisticated the sensation that you have in you, and the experience of life in all its colors, in the full spectrum. If the silence in you is not there, the sensations are also just very crude, just very few, living only in pain and pleasure, in only few binary states, not in the multi-dimensionality of life. That possibility only opens when you have the depth of silence in you. When you see that all your sensations are arising out of the source of silence. The source is that silence. Therefore, all meditation, all wisdom tradition, everything is pointing at silence, to become as silent as possible. In that silence, wisdom arises. In that silence, intelligence arises. In that silence, this whole sensation of the experience arises and creates this world of experience for you. So while you're looking for all the good experiences of life in the physicality, see that unless you have silence in you, you cannot really experience, because without silence there is no sensation. Without silence there is no possibility of the multi-dimensionality of the sensation of the experience of life. And there is no meeting also possible. When you meet people, if you meet people in this only sensation, in only the physical sensation, it is just superficial. Unless you can meet people in silence, the meeting is not deep. See, when two lovers are meeting, they're meeting on the surface as well, on the physical, but the real meeting is happening in the silence, in the depths of the silence. And unless there is a meeting in the silence, in the depths, there is not really a meeting. Then it's just superficial interaction, a superficial agreement of sensations, agreement of the physical sensations, and that is always, the taste of that is always incomplete, insufficient, and you keep on looking for connection, for meeting others, for finding that connection with others, with your family, with your friends, with your loved ones, with whomsoever. That connection is only possible if you are in silence, if the other is in silence, and you both meet in silence. There is this one incident when two mystics, Farid and Kabir, they were arranged to meet. These were two mystics of their own traditions, and they had their own followings, their own disciples. These disciples were for several years listening to their master, to their mystic, to their teacher, and in all this they had developed differences in their opinions, how to approach the truth, how to approach reality, how to approach life. So they thought, let these masters, these spiritual teachers meet and have a debate, have some sort of talk, so that these both can come together, they both can meet, they both can have some consensus somewhere. So a debate, a meeting was organized for 3 days, where Kabir and Farid, both parties, they came, both masters came, their disciples gathered in that hall where this meeting took place. Both these masters, they saw each other, they came down, they sat, and they looked at each other, and they both fell in such a deep silence. They did not say a word for 3 days. Both the set of disciples, they were waiting for these masters to say something, to talk about something, to discuss something, to agree and disagree and argue and debate and rationalize about things. But both these masters, for 3 days, they simply kept silence. They remained so silent that it became disturbing for both the sets of disciples. After that meeting finished, then these disciples, they asked the question to Farid. They said, what happened? We thought you had the greatest rationals, you had the greatest logics which you have been telling us. And when you see the other master, you absolutely remained silent. Then that's what the master said. He said, that's the only way to meet. That is the ultimate meeting in silence. And I'm waiting to meet you all also in silence. Until we are able to meet in silence, all this talk, all these rationals, all these contexts are just to bring you to that silence where you and I can also meet. And this is also the effort in these entire sessions, where all the talk, all the discourse, all this wisdom is just the grounds to build silence in you, so that you and I and everyone can sit in silence and simply meet in the deepest possible way. Let us hear what Bhairava has to say in Vigyan Bhairav Tantra for today, and why this silence is so significant for what Bhairava has to say for today. Bhairava says, knowledge reveals all, and the self of all is the revealer. Contemplate on the knowledge and the knower as being one and the same. Let me repeat. Knowledge reveals all, and the self of all is the revealer, is the knower. Contemplate on the knowledge and the knower as being one and the same. Sounds a little tricky what Bhairava is trying to say, but essentially what he's wanting us to meditate upon, to contemplate upon, is the fact that the knowledge and the knower are essentially the same. The nature of knowledge and the knower is essentially the same. If there was more time, we could have explained what is this knowledge, what is this knower, and the whole phenomena in more detail. But the essence is more important, that the meeting of the knower and the knowledge, the nature of both the knower and the knowledge is the same. And what is that meeting? That meeting is in sensation. That meeting is in silence. Why both the knowledge and the knower are the same, why their nature is the same? Because they both are same sensations. When you're trying to know something, the knowing and the knower both are the same sensations. This you have to experiment, contemplate, meditate upon in your experience to come to the truth. And when you see this truth is seen in your silence. The more silent you become, the more you can see the sensations of both the knowledge and the knower are the same. One of the favorite mystics, spiritual teachers, Krishnamurti, he spent 70 years exactly talking about knowledge and the knower and both being the same. For 70 years, can you imagine, all throughout his life, this one essential topic, this one essence, this one truth, he talked in so many different ways to so many different assemblies of people again and again and again, that the knowledge and the knower are the same. But only a few got it. Only a few went beyond the conceptual understanding of it. And the way to deeply understand it, to really come to the truth of how the knowledge and the knower are the same, is to be in silence. In that silence, you see everything as sensations, the same sensation, and the source of all these sensations as the silence itself. Let us take these moments to move in the so much talked about silence and experience this in our own self, in our own inner world. Please close your eyes and take a posture that is comfortable for you. A sitting posture that allows you to sit restfully and alert, with your head, neck, back aligned. Balanced and rested. A posture that brings your body to silence. Awareness turning inwards. And for the next minutes, break down your experiences, whatever you're experiencing right now, as sensations. The physical sensations, what you see in front of your closed eyes. is just a sensation. What you hear is a sensation. What you smell, taste, and feel on your skin, all are sensations. The thoughts are a sensation. Emotions this sense of self I am is also a sensation. Just a sensation. Notice every sensation in your inner space, in your consciousness, and simply observe these sensations. In this observation, notice that all sensations are rising and falling back in silence. Your entire experience is rising and falling back in silence. Your entire reality is rising and falling back in silence. And move from sensations to the source, to silence. From all sensations to silence. In that silence, everything is at rest, in absolute stillness. Let go of everything in this silence. All sensations, the sensation of the self. In that silence, you and I meet. And rise back to the world of sensations. The world of self. Physical sensations of the mind, of the breath, and very gently and slowly open your eyes. Take this taste of the world of silence, of the source itself, to your daily life, to everything that you do as a remembrance, as the source of every sensation, every experience of your life. If you wish to have a recording of this session, please write me an email and I will put you on the mailing list where I share a recording of this session with you all after the session, so that you can practice once again, revisit once again this session for free at your convenience. And if you wish to contribute back to these sessions, two ways. One is to donate. An appropriate donation is $20, just like in any other yoga class or any other class that you visit in person. Otherwise, you can also donate as you like. The second way to contribute to these sessions is to share the message of this session with your loved ones, with your family and your friends, and to bring this message of silence, of love, of awareness to as many people as possible. So 2 ways to contribute: by donating and by sharing. Thank you very much. Namaste.